All right. Thanks for stopping by for another Tasty Tuesday short review here with Telex. And we've been around our way doing a lot of Flora and Fauna bottles recently. Did the Blair Athol, did the Dollywang, did the Ben Rennis, did the Inchgour. Had some great times with those bottles, and wanted to come back to one that I haven't looked at in a while. About to kill off the bottle, and I thought it's time to give it, its just due. I've sat down many times with this and gave it many tries. Let's sit down and give it a proper review. This is colored and chill filtered, most likely. I don't see why they would bother with the coloring. It's very light colored, so I don't think they would add coloring to this unless it was to make it consistent, which Diageo is notorious back in these days of doing that with the colored chill filtering. This is 43% ABV. It's a Highland, and this is going to be the Teaninich. I went to Aquavitae's pronunciation school before I went on. I was always saying Teaninich, so I'm glad I looked it up. It's Teaninich, which shout out to Roy Aquavitae for doing that for us Americans that are struggling to get by, especially when you get to the Bonahaven Krokvonas and the Erinagreins and some of the Ardbegs are tough, like the Erinambecht. It's really tough. But anyway, this one is. We don't know if it's going to be bourbon or sherry. I don't detect sherry in this. I think it's more of a straightforward ex-bourbon cask. So let's see what we get. Now, this is subjective, but the first note I get, and I'm not a big fan of it all, is lemons. There's lemons out the yin-yang on this guy. It's kind of like a lemon meringue pie to combine some nose notes there. Honeysuckle, lilacs, a lot of heavy light florals though. It's heavy on the florals, but they're all light in nature. A little pith in there. Kind of a subtle woodiness and a little bit of vanilla and ginger. Some tea, some white grapes. It's got some things going on, but it's a little light. It's very delicate so far. It's probably because it's only a 10-year, maybe. It's tough to say. Palate's pretty delicate as well. Pretty good oily mouth coat. I'd say it's medium mouth coat. A slight bit of honey and some sourdough savoriness. There's a slight mineral note there, a bit of a mint. Very, very, very little. I'm talking the back end before the finish. There's a little bit of smoke and a bit of cream. Wow, the finish is going. Let's give it a little boost. It's on the long side. It's buttery, but it has a bit of a honey and an orange rind note to it. It's really big on everything but sweet and salty. It's a bit bitter. It's a bit sour, and it's a bit savory, but like the umami kind of thing. But it doesn't have the sweetness or the saltiness that I was hoping for. If you like the flavor, you're going to love the finish, I'll tell you that. But I'm not the biggest fan of this. Let's give it a couple drops of Iska here. Let's see what we get. That's Irish for some of you guys, for water. And I'm talking a drop. This is 43%. Let's not go crazy. Don't want to be flooding the Glencairn yet. Give it a couple swirls. Not violent, not over my shoulder. Not crazy. Let's give it a little swirl and see what we get now. On the nose, at least first. It brings a straw hay like factor up front. Some cream in there too. It's a bit grassier. It's definitely grassy on the nose now. I guess it kind of took it from what was slight fruit and pithy before. Now it gives it more of a, I'd say, an herbal back end on the nose there. Interesting. Okay. A little spicier, a little white pepper. It takes away my medium mouth coat. It doesn't take it too far down to like a thin, but it's not as nice and oily as it was before. The finish is like definitely more menthol, mint, like a peppermint. It's a dry peppermint though. Medium in length. It's not as long as it was before the water, but at least there's some difference there. This is Diageo. This is one of the single malts that they use primarily to use as a blend in Johnny Walker. And this, it's funny. I think there's a lot of the red has a lot of this in it because it has that more bitter, earthy, savory tone to it. Like I said, without the salty or sweetness to balance it out, it's a bit on the rough edge for me. I wouldn't even put this, to me, I mean, this is all, subjective on this level, but I'm thinking 2.5 out of 5. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy this. Now, I did see a 17-year-old that's also from this distillery, Teaninich, and it's only two that I've seen. I've seen a 10 and I've seen a 17. The only person I've ever seen it review the 17 is my buddy Dustin, who goes by DHS on Distiller and across on the Whiskey Tube channels. He's pretty aggressive on his reviews sometimes. I think he gave it like a 0.75 for a 17-year. He gave it some notes, but nothing crazy impressive, but it didn't really impress him. So I'm wondering if it's even worth it. And then we're talking some bigger money. It's at least, I think, 150 plus for that 17-year-old. And I'm not even about to drop that even close, going off of my experience off this one in his review. So if you've ever had the Teaninich 17, please drop me a comment and let me know what you thought, of it. It's intriguing, and I do want to get a really high quality bottle from this distiller, and I want it to be a distillery bottle. So that's why I'm focused on staying away from independence until I find that distillery bottle that might make it shine a little more, but we'll see if it exists. Thanks so much for stopping by for this short review. I'm gonna start a new live review with Malt Muser. We're gonna look at the Balvenie 12-year-old single barrel, and I hope you join us there. Sláinte mhath for now.